Alright, we did the point guards yesterday, so obviously we gotta start it off with the best shooting guards right here and right now. Super excited, that like button down below and comment as we get on throughout what level you are right now in 2K. I'm sitting at a cool level 27 with the season 2. Pretty cool, pretty fun. And obviously I'll try to get the small forwards list out tomorrow and keep everybody updated with all that. So yeah, just make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned with everything. Now, before we fully get into tier list, we get a message from the sponsor of today's video, though. If you need your unlimited 12-0 domination Evo cards, level 40, or even more grinded, contact Rose NBA on Twitter. Link is in the description. Alright, and now that we got that out of the way, we can do what we always do and start off with this wonderful hard pass tier here. And just show you everybody, or the it's a no for me. I changed the name on the screen that you guys are seeing, but not for the screen that I read everything off of, so you know there's that. But the it's a no for me tier. So for this one, we're starting off with my man Sapphire David Wesley. The problem with David Wesley, he does have that like D-Wade jumper, which is pretty cool, but my man's just short. Like, he's just short and just doesn't really provide anything too crazy for me. Thank you. Next is that Emerald Darrell Griffith. He's one of those free cards that you've got. You can still get if you want to off the Lifetime Agendas. Personally, not a big fan of even the Diamond one, which we'll find out a little bit later. But this Emerald just not really impressed. It's supposed to be a pretty good slasher, but I just don't feel like he does all that. And in my opinion, it's just a bit of a meh for me. The next two are Emerald D'Angelo Russell and CJ McCollum. Now, the two of these guys are pretty cool, but they're kind of just offensive heavy cards that are just emeralds from the new base set that I don't know. I just had to add a few of the base set cards here and there just for a little bit of oomph in the bottom few tiers. All around, I think these guys can be pretty decent. I just don't really see a reason for you to use them compared to literally any other shooting guard that you'll see above them. Next is the Ruby Bradley Beal. There is an Amethyst out right now that still isn't amazing, which again we're going to do a little bit later, but there's no real reason to get this Bradley Beal. I think he's a little bit of finishing, a little bit of shooting, a little bit of playmaking. He's just all around alright. And has that Ray Allen base on normal, which in my opinion honestly isn't even that great. All around just nothing on defense, and it's just okay on offense, so I'm not really too excited. Andre Roberson is literally the exact opposite. He is a no-go on anything on the offensive end. Like, you are not getting a bucket with this Andre Roberson. Like, it's not going to happen. I apologize, but it's not going to happen. But at the other hand, Andre Roberson, you are not going to struggle to stop anybody. The guy just has absolutely amazing defense, especially for a guy that's going to be an Emerald. You can just only take layups with him, which severely limits him. It just makes him really not worth it to have on at all, because you just off-ball this Andre Roberson, and you basically can guarantee yourself a win. Next is LaMelo Ball. We do have a Ruby with LaMelo, who's actually a damn solid card, but this Emerald just is not it. No reason to use him. Sorry, but that's just how it is. The next is Sapphire James Harden. He's pretty cool, but again, we have a free Amethyst James Harden that you could have got for winning just 5 games in Unlimited, and he is absolutely insane. But the Sapphire is just a bit underwhelming to me, not really too cool, but he still has the James Harden release and still has a dribble style, so he can be fun, but yeah, no thank you. And last but not least is a man who I love, who I stand, Fred VanVleet. He's just an absolute demon. At least in real life, I just love watching Freddie VanVleet play. But his Emerald in 2K just is not it. But if you check out the list from yesterday, we do talk about the Amethyst Fred VanVleet. So check that out, where he is getting pretty highly ranked, which is pretty cool. And that finishes off our It's a No from me tier. So I have been doing it recently, just showing off the still decent tier because we got a lot of cards to go through, so we'll do that again. And for our still decent tier, we have a Ruby Devin Booker, Diamond DeMar DeRozan. For Booker, you can kind of get what's going on. He still has the jumper on quick, but has like the base dribble style, just like the Pink Diamond, and it's just not all around the most amazing. Still no defense, but just not as good of offense as the Pink Diamond Booker to really put him up there. DeMar DeRozan just doesn't really have a three-point shot. I do love the jumper, and I find it money. I've been actually able to pretty consistently shoot with this DeMar DeRozan, especially from the mid-range. He's a god, but I know that a lot of people really want a good three-point shot, even though with the new Diamond-like coach and stuff like that, you can pretty easily shoot it with this DeMar, but still, I think all around, there definitely are some better shooting guards out there. David Thompson is a jumper that I quite like in Jump Shot 9, but just has no defense. It's a bad dribble style, and it's supposed to be a good slasher, but just isn't quick enough to get out there and be a good slasher. So all around, no thank you. Darrell Griffith, again, just not my cup of tea. I mean, I used the Emerald and looked at the diamond. It was just like, yeah, there's no chance that I'm going out of my way to get this card. He can be good. I know a lot of people that think he's fun, but in my opinion, it's just not worth the time, not worth the grind. So he is sitting down there in that still decent tier. Next up is our man Cade Cunningham, who is great for a Sapphire, but his jumper's just a little bit too slow right now. I would say in the future with like an Amethyst, even like a Ruby Cade, a nice budget Cade Cunningham with like a bronze clamps, and just a jumper on quick, I think it's going to be crazy. But this Sapphire is just all around meh. The Amethyst Bradley Beal is just a slight step up from the Ruby. Going to play a little bit better defense, but not a lot. It's just going to be a better shooter all around. I did have a lot of fun when I did a gameplay on this Cade, but he's just all around not one of the most amazing cards out there. Or I say Cade. Beal's just not one of the most amazing cards out there. Jerry Stackhouse is cool, but he's got jump shot 1, and he's supposed to be a good slasher, but I just didn't really feel it when I was going for it. You know, dunk stuff like that with him just wasn't my cup of tea. If you go out there and you have fun with this Jerry Stackhouse, that is great for you. I'm happy for you, but in my opinion, I think he's a bit of an underwhelming card, which is why he's down there in that still decent tier. Next is our man Marquise Johnson. I don't know why, but Dominique Wilkins is the exact same card as this Marquise and feels significantly better. Marquise just wasn't able to knock down the jumper with him, wasn't able to slash, wasn't able to play make, wasn't able to really do anything too crazy, but his stats and all that suggest that he could be good in the right hand, so maybe I'm just using him wrong. If you have fun with Marquise, you got him last season, good for you. I hope you have a great time with him. But for me, he was quite the underwhelming card. Next up is the man Ruby Manu Ginobili, who I honestly think has one of the worst releases I have ever had in 2K. It's not a W, like, at all. It's just not good. I don't like it at all. I think it's like jump shot 18 or something like that. Same one as like Ron Harper. It doesn't really play defense either, and it was a struggle to get the 50 points that I needed last season because I just didn't like the card. So all around, just, again, he's not my cup of tea. No thank you. Next is Emmanuel Quickly, who just got a pretty decent duo with Landry Fields. Makes it actually a pretty nice overall budget duo. I don't really know what the price is going for right now, but I would highly recommend at least checking it out if you haven't already. Looking pretty good. Quickly is just a guy who can do a little bit of everything on the offensive end, which is pretty cool. And as far as Sapphires go, I think is pretty damn solid. Next is Josh Giddey. Again, I think as far as Sapphires go, pretty damn solid. The jumper's a little bit weird. It like pulls you in, so you have to be a bit behind the three-point line to actually take a three-point jump shot, which is a little bit weird. The defense is definitely lacking, and I don't think he really has anything exceptional, but he's all around not bad. Again, especially for a Sapphire. And last but not least is the Amethyst James Harden, but this one from the current series. And let me tell you, not having the glitched on James Harden definitely makes a difference. Again, still has the exact same animation, stuff like that. Just doesn't have any sort of defense on him, and is having badges that the other Harden has, you know, gold. This one only has on bronze or silver, which is also a bit tough. So that finishes off our tier there, and I had that just a little bit off, but look at that. It looks gorgeous now. We moved it over. Now we can start off with a pretty damn solid tier, but we are starting with the signed Desmond Mason, a card who I just finished off the score 500 with the signed Desmond Mason challenge, and that was a little bit crazy. If you are looking for what the difference is between the two versions of these cards, between the two versions, I think it's like Hall of Fame Limitless Takeoff, which just isn't too big of a deal to me. I don't think any of the signed versions are worth more than the other ones. That's just my honest opinion. But this Desmond Mason has the J.R. Smith jumper, jump shot 49 on quick, and is absolutely amazing. Doesn't have any shooting badges, so be careful with that out there, but is a great slasher with that slashing takeover, has some alright defense, some alright playmaking. That gold glue hands is clutch. But I was running three-point plays with him, doing absolutely fine with it, so I think even if you know how to time your jumpers, this Desmond Mason will be fine, despite the 75-3 and no shooting badges. So just play your cards right and it'll be good. Next up is Ruby Danny Ainge, a free season level card out here. And honestly, I kind of like him. Danny Ainge has jump shot 28. That's a jumper that this year, I don't know why, but I just got it down, and I've had a lot of fun with it. It's just cool. And Danny Ainge is actually a pretty good playmaker. Doesn't have dimer for some reason, but has like needle thread and all that sort of stuff, which is just weird to me. But aside from that, is a good playmaker. On the defensive end, but offensively still pretty cool. I've just had some fun with him. I just like the way that he just throws the rock around and just has some fun. As a good like playmaker, the point guard. And again, I do think he's a better PG than he is a shooting guard, so that's kind of why I ranked him higher. If you disagree, it's okay. Next up is Sapphire Crystal, a free locker code Sapphire moments that we got, which was amazing. I hope we still do this in like the future 2K, because Crystal Duarte is a great just kind of like 3-and-D guy to have out there on your squad. Has silver clamps, has some nice good shooting badges, has a pretty decent jumper, which I think is on the quick timing as well, and just all around good. This Duarte is not going to be somebody who you're going to dribble around with and do anything like that, like nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But he's going to be a guy who you can put out on the court. He's going to shoot some nice threes off the catch, and he's going to be able to play some good defense. That's all you really need out of a 2-guard. If you like to score with your point guards majority and just have a nice shooting guard out there to help you out, this Chris Duarte is perfect for that. Next up is my man, Ruby Bryant Winters. Absolutely love him. I think it's jump shot 32 on quick, and it's just money. If you use Sapphire Steph Curry, you like this Bryant Winters. He was a free XP card last season. He was absolutely amazing. Has some pretty decent defense despite not having clamps, but he's just such a money shooter that, yeah, he's running on the squad. He's one of my like go-tos every single time when it's a limited like weekend because he just does not miss, man. He doesn't miss. Next up is my boy Anthony Simons, who I was actually pretty excited to get, but I'm not gonna lie, a bit underwhelming. He's a good dunker and a good slasher out there, just doesn't have the most amazing animations, especially when it comes to a jumper. Like, he can shoot, but his jumper is just slow, and it like brings you into the defender a little bit too much for my liking. So I just haven't really had too much fun with him. But he still is a damn good all-around Ruby PG. Just again, for my liking, for my purposes, I just think he's solid. Nothing crazy like some people may think. Next up is the man Adrian Dantley, who actually was a pretty recent addition to the game, which is kind of wild. But Adrian Dantley, not too bad, man. If you get him from the Season 2 rewards, I don't even think you can actually get him yet, but by the time like prime time comes around, I'm pretty sure you'll be nearly there, so I decided to rank him anyway. But he has, glue hands, quick for step and downhill, all on gold, which is great. He has some decent shooting, some amazing finishing with Acrobat, Pro Touch, and Slithery, all in Hall of Fame, and you can add clamps to him if you wanted to. Jump shot 18 sadly is on there, which is why he is chilling here in the pretty damn solid despite all of those good things we listed, because jump shot 18 is just terrible, and that fundamental dribble style is just terrible. So just imagine what Manu Ginobili is, but just juiced. That's kind of this Adrian Dantley is going to be. So, kind of sad to see. Next up, the Budget Beast is back, and he is coming in hot. I absolutely love my man here, and it is Tyrese Haliburton, who is just super fun, man. Tyrese Haliburton last year was one of those just amazing budget cards when we got his diamond, and I really, really like his Ruby. The Gordon jumper is a little bit awkward, but he does have the shifty dribble style, so you can speed boost real nice with this Tyrese Haliburton. Just have fun, man. I had a blast going with his 7 threes XP challenge. Wasn't bad at all, and it was just, again, I had a fun time going out there and just shooting with this Tyrese, dribbling around and just having fun. His defense isn't as good as you got out of the diamond. Obviously, he's only a Ruby, but still pretty decent there. Just all around, a great budget shooting guard. Next up is my man Tyrese Ross. Again, the signed version, not really that worth the upgrade, the extra MT they're going to be spending. I just don't really think it is. The signed versions are cool, but it's kind of a flop in my opinion, at least right now. But Tyrese Ross has jump shot 70 on that normal release timing, and it is absolutely beautiful. He just shoots the ball great. He's tall, has a great player build, so he's a great defender. And maybe he shouldn't be, who knows? But I just all around love him. He's a good finisher as well. Tyrese Ross is always one of those guys who I love every year in 2K. Next up is Monte Ellis. Jump shot 22 is always going to be a great one to have on the card. And this Monte Ellis, when you actually are getting open or even have a light contest on it, this guy is money. Doesn't miss. He's also a pretty damn good slasher. His defense is it's alright, but he doesn't really move too great without that a good dribble style. But still is fun, is great. And again, if you like jump shot 22, you're going to love this Monte Ellis, because when the dude has even a relatively open shot, you're cashing it out. Next up is the man Luka Doncic, the diamond, and this guy is just shifty. He's fun. He's cool. Sadly, it's the base dribble style, and I know some people don't like the jumper, but I'm gonna be honest, it really ain't that bad. Like, it's really not that bad. It's just awkward to look at, which is weird. It's awkward to release with, but I really don't think it's a terrible jumper to use in general. I have a friend who uses Luka off the bench and just chucks threes from the corner with him and has an absolute blast with it. So I really don't think Luka's that bad. I think it's a pretty damn solid card. It can be cool as like a secondary ball handler. So, there's that. I'm putting him at the pretty damn solid. Fight me. Next up is my man Joe Harris, who is meant to come out there and just shoot the damn ball. And he's good at that, man. He is good at that. Has jump shot 35 on the normal timing, same one as Kelly Tripucka, and he's basically just a Ruby version of Kelly Tripucka. If you use Diamond Kelly, he's the same thing. He's just a bit slower, can't really dunk as well, and doesn't have as good a defense, but it's still great as just bringing him out there and just throwing the ball at the rim and hoping that it hits, man. It's great. And last but not least is my boy Duncan Robinson. I love this Sapphire card. Like, this glitched Duncan Robinson is beautiful. I cannot tell you the amount of times that he carried a draft game for me. Back when the flashbacks were like first out. He just went dummy, man. His jumper is great. Jump shot 40 on quick is beautiful. Plus, he's a good slasher. His defense is a bit underwhelming. I will definitely admit that he's a bit of a pup, you know, on the defensive end. But, I mean, if you play your cards right, you really won't notice it too much, which is pretty cool. But just offensively, he is a god for a Sapphire. And that actually wraps up our pretty damn solid tier, obviously. The tier's full. We can start off our baby demon tier, where I'm coming in with Pink Diamond Booker, and I will fight somebody that disagrees that this Pink Diamond Booker is a minimum baby tier. I fought with myself to not put him up into the demons tier because, man, oh man, I'm actually currently, while recording this, playing a domination game, and this Booker just doesn't miss. I have Booker's jumper down to a science, to a T, and he literally is shooting on superstar difficulty over 75% from 3 for me. Like, this guy is just amazing. I know he doesn't have a good defense. I know he's not shifty, but this guy's jumper is just so fast, so butter, so smooth that I just do not miss. In unlimited games, people just lose sight of him and think he's not going to be that crazy because he doesn't have quick first step and he's not a good defender, and he just comes out there and cooks people. Like, unlimited, he's having a good 12 to 15 for me, and he just doesn't miss. This Booker is a god, and if you didn't get him, I honestly feel bad for you because running my money play in my domination video is easy when you have this Booker on the team. It's gross. Next up is a surprise card for me in Diamond Bingo Smith, being as good as he is, because, I mean, it's Bingo Smith. He's usually a good budget guy that DBG hypes up, but he's actually pretty nice this year, man. 6'5", 6'8" wingspan. He's obviously a good diamond. Still has that, actually lost his LeBron James jumper and has jump shot 94, which is that, like, Colin Sexton jumper. Pretty cool. Has a bad dribble style, but comes with gold clamps and pick dodger, silver intimidator, gold quick first step and downhill, Hall of Fame hot zone hunter, slippery and rhythm shooter, and Hall of Fame slithery finisher, and is actually disgusting when it comes to the offensive end. His dribble style isn't really going to allow you to do anything too crazy dribbling, but just all around, again, I think using him just like a Booker, running off screens, doing things like that, it's just a nice off-ball guy. He is absolutely insane, and he's got the defense to back it up too. So you know what? Go Bingo Smith. Definitely worth the 60 tokens that you have to, you know, spend to get him, like, for sure. Next up is my man Donovan Mitchell, the Evo version up, especially if you go for the defense. Please don't go for the athletic or whatever it is. Go for the defense, get that silver clamps, and he becomes a god. Donovan Mitchell's is great. He was one of those cards that I severely underrated and said that I just didn't think was that good, and I was wrong. This Ruby Donovan Mitchell is great. He's amazing as a budget card. He's got a good jumper, he's got good slashing, his playmaking is pretty damn good, and his defense is just great. Like, all around, super solid, and you'll see the Amethyst that will come up a bit later, who is just a demon. Like, one of the best Amethysts in the entire game, which is just honestly wild to say. Next up is my man Amethyst Gary Harris, who was just a massive surprise. If you have a budget lineup, I can almost guarantee that this Gary Harris is on. Even at Ruby, he's great, but at Amethyst, he's amazing. He's got a jumper that's just so easy to time. His defense is amazing. He's got some awesome slashing. It just is like a 3-and-D guy. He is crazy. And you can get his Ruby for, I think, like 4 or 5K, and then Evo him up to the Amethyst, and nice and easy. It's like 15 threes and 5 dunks or something like that. It doesn't even take a lot of time. And then becomes one of the best budget cards in the game. Like, this guy is just crazy. If you are on a budget, you need a 2-guard, Gary Harris is like the #1 option. Next up is my man Zach LaVine, a card that people severely are underrating. Zach LaVine has the quick dribble style, which is crazy, has an amazing jumper with his Zach LaVine base, and can just cheese around with his quick first step and stuff like that, being a 6'5" shooting guard. Just offensively is a god. And same thing with Devin Booker, where you're not going to have great defense, but you're going to be so good on offense that sometimes it can actually outweigh it a bit. So, you know, there's that. If you like offensive cards, this Zach LaVine is that dude, man. That dude. Next up is my man Richie Guerin. I've seen a lot of people say, like, damn, you really like Richie Guerin like that. And his jumper is the same timing as Donovan Mitchell. Like, yeah, he doesn't have defense, but I've been able to cook up so aggressively with this Richie that it is unreal. My first few unlimited games, he carried me, averaging like 20 to 30 a game back in season 1, and I still absolutely love him. I got the jumper down, I got everything down. Richie Guerin Seriously, he's one of my just favorite cards to purely run of the game because he's fun as hell. Next up is my man Amethyst, Otis Birdsong, one of the few exchange cards that I'm like, hell yeah, he is worth it, because this dude has the quick dribble style, a pretty damn decent jumper with a pretty good timing, and like every single good dribbling move in the game. Like if you haven't before used a card that is really gross when it comes to dribbling and you like to dribble, Otis is your guy. Run him at the 2, he will cheese the hell out of it. He's an amazing slasher with how great his dribbling moves is, and I've ran into a few people who really know what it's like to just cheese up on the sticks, and let me tell you, this Otis is almost unguardable in those people's hands. It is crazy what this card can do, and he's not even really that expensive off the exchange either. Next up is my man Luol Deng. The Ruby Luol Deng is just a beast, man, just a beast, because he's got gold clamps, ball stripper, ankle braces, hustler, intimidator, menace, pick dodger, pickpocket, silver interceptor, has gold glue hands and gold catch and shoot along with corner specialist, and he's just one of those pure 3-and-D guys who is just an absolute god. Luol Deng is great. Jump shot 107 is one of the biggest green winners in the game, and I can tell you confidently I was not missing when I was using this card. He is just insane, man, especially for a Ruby. Next up is one of the new diamonds into the game from Season 2, and it is Latrell Spring. Well, you would get off the triple threat offline board. You just have to actually go up to 500 wins and you get him automatically. And he's just a master of everything. Like, he has a slasher dribble style, which kind of sucks, but jump shot for 1 in the normal time is going to be great. And he's just all around amazing. He's stupid quick, has a 90 driving dunk, he can shoot the 3-ball, he has great defense all around with gold clamps, silver intimidator, stuff like that. And just all around is fun. Plus, Hall of Fame Hot Zone Hunter. Yeah, you know that's cheese. Next up is my man Ruby LaMelo Ball, one of the best jumpers in the game, and offensively, again, is just solid. He's just amazing. When it comes to like a backup, ball handler, LaMelo is just absolutely amazing. Again, one of those great budget cards. I know he doesn't have the greatest defense, but his offensive game is just beautiful, and I like the card, so I'm putting him up in Baby Demon. Next up is Jason Richardson. Again, one of those just really good all-around shooting guards. Got some pretty damn good defense. His slashing is actually pretty solid, although it didn't feel too amazing when I was using him. But I know when it comes to budget cards, this Jason Richardson almost has like a cult-like following. People are like, yo, he is a dog. And yeah, he's pretty damn good. He can shoot the 3-ball good with a pretty nice release. That is, albeit a little bit slow, but just all around is a damn good shooting guard. And last but not least is my man signed D Wade, who I just absolutely love. If you love that like base 98 Dwayne Wade jumper, obviously you're gonna love this card. He has some of the best defense I've used on a guard in the game, which is just beautiful. His slashing is great. His shooting can just be a bit inconsistent because of his lack of badges. If somebody knows what they're doing, it's gonna be pretty easy to contest them. But all around is still damn good. And just wait for a Dwayne Wade that we get with like a fast dribble, jump shot time or something like that, and it's gonna be over, man. It's gonna be over. And now we can start up the Demon tier, where we're starting off with Amethyst, Donovan Mitchell, a card that you knew was going to be on the list. I mean, come on. This Donovan Mitchell can do everything. He has a great dribble style. I'm pretty sure it's quick. He has jump shot 4. Even on the normal timing is absolutely amazing. He's some of the best dribbling moves you can have in the game. He locks down on defense. He slashes the basket great. And his playmaking is godly. Like, this Donovan Mitchell is crazy. One of the best Amethysts in the game. Honestly, one of the best cards in the game. It just cannot be guarded. Again, if you know how to dribble, Donovan Mitchell is going to cook for you. And you can find some ones that are all badged up, shoot up, and all that sort of stuff, which are crazy. Next up is my man Ron Boone, my new starting point guard. And man, oh man, is he smooth. Has the Paul George jumper, has a quick dribble style, and just some amazing dribbling. Again, if you know how to dribble, you know how to cook. This Ron Boone is crazy. As a point guard, he is disgusting, and I just have had so much fun. Plus, he's got gold clamps that can lock it down. Just, I love him, man. I instantly replaced Walt when I got this Ron Boone, and I have no regrets. Next up is my man Mitch Richman. Again, has the quick dribble style and could cook up. He's basically Monte Ellis, just shiftier, essentially. I think with a bit better defense, which is damn good. Mitch Richman all around is a really fun, really good card. Again, worth the 150 tokens. I think it's honestly between Mitch or Mullen if you want to, pick up a pink diamond right now, and both of them are damn good options. Next up is my man Pink Diamond Michael Jordan, and Jordan obviously being the GOAT is absolutely disgusting. The one thing that this card is missing is quick first step, but you can add it, and once you do that, you'll be great. Jordan's jumper this year, at least in my opinion, is stupid money. Like, it's just really easy to time, and I've just had a blast with it. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. But even when that's like 75-3 or whatever it is, 77, something like that, I can be absolutely money with this card. It's just disgusting. Plus, he's a great slasher, some of the best slashing animations, and his defense is great. So add a quick first step, and Jordan is easily one of the best cards in the entire game, by far. Next up is the man Kobe Bryant, who honestly has an argument for being like a top 5 to 10 card in the entire game, maybe even top 3, because he's got the Kobe Bryant jumper, which is just disgusting, has a nice quick dribble style, and has good defense, good shooting, good finishing, just good everything. This Kobe has no job being as quick and as just amazing as he is, and I absolutely love it. Obviously, I'm a big Kobe fan, so, you know, big tubs for a Kobe card being good. But yeah, absolutely love him. If you got the MT, splash out because this card is crazy. Next up, maybe a bit of a controversial one, but we're throwing both of the Jaylen Browns up here. These guys are just absolutely amazing. Jaylen Brown with jump shot 75 is great. He had a quick first step, and he's disgusting. His slashing is absolutely insane. His defense is locked down. Throw him on anybody's point guard, and he is doing whatever the hell he wants. And he's just all-around amazing card. I love this Jaylen Brown. Did the gameplay on him, and I literally have no regrets. If he wasn't as expensive as he was, I honestly would probably keep him and just run him as my starting shooting guard or backup for the rest of the season because he's that good. And last but not least is obviously the glitched Amethyst James Harden. This card is just an absolute god. There's no way around it. Has an amazing jumper, has some pretty decent dribbling, although not amazing, and has all of the best defense that you could possibly imagine. Again, I think he's my starting shooting guard right now or something like that. He doesn't miss. He's one of the best offensive cards I've used. His defense is absolutely locked down, and he's amazing. Like, seriously, is, I would say, a top 5 card in the game, especially if we consider just do guards. This guy is crazy. So let me know what you guys think about the list down in the comment section below. Again, while I do the outro, I'll just move all this down so you just see the list. If you did enjoy the video, obviously hit the like button down below. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I will link the point guards list down in the comment section below, and we will be doing all the future ones like shooting small forwards, power forwards, and centers, and as well as pink diamonds and the best cards in the game. So hit that subscribe button and make sure you stay tuned for all of the wonderful videos that are coming out to have some fun with. Also, check out all the gameplays that we did on Friday and all that wonderful stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the tier list down in the comment section below, as well as the XP level that you are. If there's some guys you want to move up, guys you want to move down, let me know, and we can chat it up in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you in the next video.